Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share a tiny portion of this evening with you. Guys, please do me a favor. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to our channel there. That's the J Spot Radio. And also go to Facebook, like and follow us there, the J Spot. And go to Instagram, like, follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, we have an amazing show lined up for you tonight. Listen, we have plenty of hot topics. Some that's going to, make a couple of people unfollow me. Some that's going to make a couple of people, like, you know what, do she have anything else better to do? Yes, I do. Sit here and talk to you all for 2 hours. But guess what? You know what? At the end of the day, we are still family. So, if you get tempted, just woosah and take a deep breath and listen. Guess what? We're gonna keep this thing moving. But listen, let's get started. Now, look, let's talk about what everybody right now is talking about, because I can't believe that this man had the audacity to do this. And you know what? This man, he gives people, he's given the church a bad name, he's given pastors a bad name. It's just not a good look. We are talking about Pastor Marvin Sapp. Listen, I'm gonna tell you all something. That was a shame before the Lord. That is a shame before God. I'm telling you, people like this, you have to be so mindful and so careful. This is why and here I'm going to speak upon it, and I'm going to speak upon it unapologetically, because I have been brought up in the church. So I know protocol. And listen, I know somebody that when they slamming and slithering through on that pulpit versus when they are really of the Lord. And how do you know if they of the Lord? By their works, by their deeds, by what they're doing. And what he did was totally out of order, and God is going to charge him for that foolishness. Now, if you all don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video circulating with Pastor Marvin Sapp, and he locked the doors. He instructed his ushers to lock the doors of the church, and he said that he wanted to raise $40,000 in that service, and nobody was leaving until he hit that $40,000 mark. So he was saying that if it was 1,000 people supposedly in the sanctuary, that's what you call a church. When you up inside, if y'all don't know, that's what they call the inside of the church. They call it the sanctuary. You know what? How you know, Sister Vance? Because listen, I sit all up and through the sanctuary, so I know protocol for the sanctuary. So they were in the sanctuary, and they locked the doors of the sanctuary, and he told them, you know what? Listen, it's 1,000 of you all in here, and he said it was about 1,000 people watching him on live. And he said, if you all gave $20 a piece, we'll have our $40,000. Now, what do you all think about that? What do you all think about Pastor Marvin Sapp closing the doors on the church? And he said he said, y'all ain't going nowhere but to go buy some food. Y'all ain't going nowhere but going to the restaurant. So listen, ain't nobody going nowhere until we handle this business. What do you all think about that? Do you all think that that was the right thing for him to do? Do you think that some of these pastors are just doing entirely too much, asking for entirely too much, and not doing enough? Because again, listen, if you sit here, and I understand how some people will be leery and say, you know what? See, this is why I don't go to church. No, you just looking for an excuse not to go to church. They was fighting last Saturday at the club, but guess what? You're gonna be back at the club this Saturday. I hope they don't start fighting this week. So please stop with all that. You just don't want to go to church. So if something like this, people trip me out with that. Listen, you had a bad experience doing a horizontal mambo with this dude, but guess what? You forgave him and you went back and you got you some more. So please, let's stop using these excuses on. Just say, I don't want to go to church. I don't want to get my life right. I don't believe in that. Whatever the case is, but don't make it seem like situations like this is why you're not in church. No, you're not in church because you just don't want to be in church. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Hey, Cedric, how you doing? Hey, Gretchen, how you doing? Mark, Cedric, you're saying, Marvin Sapp, I would have put some hands on him, all right. Michael, you're saying Marvin Sapp lost his doggone mind. I wish he would have done that to me in there. Bet I would have gone out without paying. And that's what I was saying too. I'm like, man, it's crazy. And Michael, you're saying most of them are crooked. Anyways, absolutely. I'm just like, I said, what kind of church is this? What kind of church? Because again, the fact that you saying, listen, and I'm gonna tell y'all about some real services that I have sat in myself personally. And here's what it's an order to this. They get you all emotional and you have a great. Now listen, let me say before I even finish that statement, there are some services. I've been in plenty of services where there have been the service is on point and the real spirit of God is moving in the service. Though I've been in those situations, and then I've been in some orchestrated services where they get you all emotional. Because trust me, it's a job to a lot of these people. They get you all emotional, and then once you're done being emotional, see, if you ever wonder and ever notice, they never ask for money at the beginning of the service. It's always at the end of the service when they have played on your emotions. A lot of these people, a lot of these pastors, that's when they start going, because now they know that you're vulnerable. And now, like, you've had a great service. You feel like, the Lord is talking to you. The Lord is going to talk to you. You got to let the Lord talk to you. And because some of these people, they are not of the Lord. And that's why you have to have a relationship with God for yourself. The Bible say having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. They listen, the sheep come in clothing. Everybody that say that Lord, Lord is not of the Lord. You got to know this stuff for yourself. So just because they're saying they are for the Lord, you got to watch how they work. Because if they doing stuff and you like, I don't know now. I don't know now. What would the Lord do in this situation? Would the Lord hold all these people up here? Would the Lord be, because the Lord didn't drive a Bentley. The Lord lived amongst the people. The Lord lived poor like the people. So we can't really, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but don't let this be a hindrance to you. Hey, pretty Tasha, how you doing? Don't let this situation take you out with not wanting to go to church, because again, this would just be an excuse for you not to go. Because again, if you went to the club last week and they was fighting last week at the club, you may not go back to that club, but if you are a clubber, you're going to go find another club that you feel comfortable with, where you feel like, okay, well, they're not going to be fighting in here, and you're going to keep it moving. You're not going to say, oh, I ain't never going to the club no more. I ain't going to the club. You're not going to say that. You may say, I ain't going back to cookie cutters, but you will be over there, sugar. You're going to be over there, but sugar drop it like it's hot.com. You're going to be over there. You ain't going to Sugar Plum no more, but you're going to go to drop it like it's hot. So you're not going to stop clubbing. So let's not use this as an excuse as to not, oh, well, I ain't going to church. That's why I don't go to church. That's you wasn't going to go nowhere. You wasn't going nowhere, you spirit. You was just sitting around one of the people. Now you feel justified. Now you feel vindicated on why you ain't going to church. See, that's why I don't go to church. No, you don't go to church because you a lying wonder. That's why you don't go to church. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Just like we about to shame Marvin Sapp up in here, sir. that was out of order. That was out of order. That was out of order. And that was not of God. I mean, people need to really, 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 really get into the word and get into the word for yourself. I don't want to hear all this. Oh, well, that's the pink man's, the religion and all. Listen, whatever floats your boat. We're talking about Marvin Sapp holding these people in the church, and he didn't want them to leave because he was trying to raise his $40,000. So when people are doing things like that, I've been in churches and situations and services where they're like, okay, well, I need 10 people to come up here and give me $100. Give us $100. The church need this, the church. Well, first of all, look, okay, now after the church is paid off for and all this other stuff, what do you need all this money for? Because I have a problem with, the church is receiving all of this money, but you got all these poor people still sitting in your congregation. So you are strong arming, and don't get me wrong, I believe in paying tithes. I believe in paying my offering. I believe in that. However, what I'm saying is, listen, I don't believe in being crazy and and just being crazy. I just don't. Like, where did it say that the Lord told him to lock the doors and tell you want $100,000 and you want? No, sir. That's what that's what you're trying to do. So you raise all of this money, raise $40,000 and on a Sunday service, and most of the congregation walk out and they still poor broke and starving. What are you doing with that $40,000? Did you build a school for Black kids? Did you build a bank? Are you building, a hospital, or are you investing in something in your church and in your congregation? And please, let me tell y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of people gonna get mad at me about this. I'm so sick of these church funds. I'm so sick of I'm so sick of these building funds. Listen, you take you in that building fund, because guess what? When that church is paid off, the board owns that church. So it's people still owning that edifice. So we gotta definitely be mindful on that, because if you just paid to have a $50,000 or $50 million church built, there's some people whose names is on that deed. So at the end of the day, when you're done and you decide not to go to that church, or for whatever reason, that church has been paid off for. And guess what? It belongs to some people in that church. It belongs to the pastor and the board of directors and all these other people that have put on to make this possible. So now they divide that up by however many people on that board, and that money goes to them. So I'm not really a big fan of all of that. So I am a big fan of going to church. Again, you'll know who's real versus who's not, because again, the ones who's not, they're really not preaching a good word. Like, they're really not preaching a word. Like, they're really not teaching you. But again, let's go back to Marvin Sapp. Again, I think that was out of order. I think that Medinim are rolling over in their graves. And again, some of Medinim back in the day, they was giving away the last wig money. They was giving away the money that was, how Medinim, they used to have all that money tucked up under bada bing and bada bang. And, when the pastor go, asking for the offering, they go up and she's like, hold on, Pastor One. Hold on, Pastor One. 1 second, Pastor. Hold on. I got, baby. They jump up so fast. Hold on. I got my $20 for the pastor right there, because they used to have all that money. If you ever hugged a grandmother back in the 80s, listen, baby, all of this. You like, grandma, why that's so high? Because that's the bank. This is where the bank was. Bada bing and bada bang used to be the bank. See, they wasn't out there getting all these BBLs and trying to get all these breast implants and everything. This is where they held the money at. So if you ever had, and that's how you know you had a good grandmother, you had a real good grandmother, if they had their money in up here in this region, the upper region, bada bing and bada bang, you had a real good grandmother. You listen, my dear was the bomb, because that's what she had the money at. But they'll be up in there, oh, Pastor, oh yes, hold on. Hold on. Here you go, Pastor. I got my 20 right here. That's how Medinum used to be. But see, they wasn't out here asking and just doing all these really crazy and ridiculous things. Like back in the day. Now, listen, there have always been some two-bit preachers and all this other stuff because a lot of people feel like that's the biggest way to get some money. Just like Shawnee O'Neal, her little raggedy little husband up there telling the people the same thing. Oh, I need 1,000 people to give me $100 and all this. Listen, if you are ever in a situation like that, I'm gonna say this: use your better judgment. Use your better judgment and make a decision for yourself. How does your spirit feel about that? Do you feel like this is the atmosphere that you're being fed spiritually? I mean, do you get what you need out of that type of environment? If you do, then you definitely have to stay there and do what is right for you spiritually. But for me, I don't foresee myself being able to thrive in a situation like that because again, sir, no. Sir, you're not even following the Lord's protocol. So how are you trying to do all of this? Like you got more than $40,000. You should be telling 1,000 people to stand up and come up here to the altar and we're gonna bless y'all with $20. Why was that not the case? Why was that not the case? Why are we not giving, and blessing the congregation? Why is it the other way around? Renona, you're saying, I'm with you. God said, be a cheerful giver. That was forced what he did. You are absolutely right, Renona. A cheerful giver. And that, again, give at your free will. Listen, if you're teaching right, sir, then people know what their tithes and their offerings should be. They know that it's the 10%. They should know that if you're teaching that. But you also have to be an example of that. And I felt like this right here with what Marvin Sapp did, I feel like that, pushed people back away. I feel like he did pastors and real churches and real pastors. And I'm not saying that he's not a real pastor. I'm saying that he did people that are really out here striving to do the right thing and trying to teach people and save souls, that's really trying to do the right thing. I feel like he did a grave disjustice, for those type of pastors that are really striving to, get this message across and get people, to, see the light and do the right thing. I think that he pushed, some people back, and I definitely do think that he caused some people to definitely stumble from this foolishness. I think that could have been a setback for some people. But what I would say is for the people that this could possibly hinder, don't let this hinder. Maybe not return back to that church. But again, if you're not the type of person that if you went out to go out tomorrow night and they fighting at the club that you go to tomorrow, and you don't say, see, that's why I don't club. That's why I don't club. And you still go to the club on Saturday, you better take your behind to church on Sunday. You better go find you somewhere else to praise and worship. Find you somewhere else, just like you didn't go back to the same club because they was fighting there on Friday and you found somebody where else to go on Saturday. You need to do the same thing for the church. Go find you somewhere else to congregate and fellowship, but do not let this be an excuse. That's why, see, that's why I don't do church. That's why I don't do church. And hey, listen, you wasn't doing no church. And you wasn't doing church in the first place. If you want, see, that's why I only go. Those are people that only show up on Easter and Mother's Day. Those are the people that's hollering. See, that's why I don't be going to see. That's why I don't even be messing with church like that. You only go to church on Easter and Mother's Day. What is you talking about? They got to get all they can from y'all when y'all come up in there on Easter's and Mother's Day because they know that they're not going to see you for another whole year. So, yes, but for the little churches, when they be, oh, yeah, everybody come on in because they know that those are the 2 Sundays that the church is going to be packed. So, if they did that type of offering on that day, I don't much blame them, especially the little churches, because listen, you all know that y'all gonna have these churches hemmed up come Easter and Mother's Day. So I'm not mad at the pastors that have to get you, have to get your tithes and your offering and get whatever they can get from you while you're there on those particular service days. I'm not mad. But outside of that, I'm not a big fan on what happened. And again, with all due respect, Pastor Sapp, that was he knows that was not the right thing to do. And again, please don't use that as an excuse as to not have your own relationship with God. Like, you have to form your own relationship. And my aunt, God rest her soul, she used to always say, you have to listen to the word of God and get the word of God for yourself. You cannot, and it is so true, especially in today's society. You can't leave it all up to man because it's so much temptation out here. People are not willing to do the right thing. It's so much deceit, it's so much deception, it's so much vainglory, it's so much just deceptive things that people do today that, you just definitely have to have a relationship with God for yourself. Now, listen, speaking of having a relationship, listen, what do you all think about this? This foolishness. Now, and it's a sad story, and I'm trying to figure out how in the world did this happen. But it's a grandmother. She met a boyfriend. She met her guy in jail. In jail. This brother was on. Whoo, child. This brother was on. I think he was serving a life sentence, maybe 3 life sentences in jail. Like, he wasn't getting out. Like, never, never ever. So the grandmother, she met the man online and they started dating. And so she married him while he was in prison. She went to visit him and she was set up for a conjugal visit because they had gotten married. And this man ended up killing her. On He ended up unaliving her during that conjugal visit. And I'm just like, how does that happen, guys? Like, really, how does that? I'm just like, oh my God, like, my heart goes out to her family. And I'm just like, man, what were you thinking, ma'am? Like, and I understand. Listen, and we're talking about this tonight. This I don't need a man type, campaign that's going on. We gonna dead that tonight. But this man unalived this woman. She married him, knowing that he was in jail for murder, and she married him. She went to consummate her marriage with her husband, and during the visit, he ended up unaliving her during that visit. You all, look, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. He was already a convicted unaliver. He was already a convicted unaliver, and she thought that she could fix him and make him better. She saw the potential, which I'm really not sure how much potential there is for somebody that is serving, a life sentence. Really not sure how much, potential you saw in that. Like, this man is never getting out. Like, you're 62 years old. Like, where did you think this thing was going? Like, that's what I'm kind of wondering to myself. Like, how far did she think this thing was gonna go? Like, were you gonna go up there and see him every month or every other weekend to get these conjugal visits from this man that's in prison with other men, and you have no idea as to what is going on, what is going on with him? You have no idea what's going on, and you're marrying him. Like, listen, ladies, listen, we got to be mindful of meeting these folks off these dating sites and these chat sites and all this and that. You got to be so mindful. Like, if you want to meet people, then you got to get out, like, get outside. For me, I believe that it's better to kind of get outside and kind of see what's going on out there, opposed to, trying to be too trusting with these with these sites, with this social media stuff and dating people. I've met somebody once off of social media. Would I do it again? Probably not. Probably not. And it wasn't that it was a bad experience because of meeting him off of social media. It's just because that he just was not a good person. So that's why I was like, I wouldn't do it. I don't know if I would do it again. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. But you got to be so careful because it's just like people hide behind this. But this lady, she willingly knew that this man was in prison. She willingly knew that he had unalived some people. And I don't understand, like, how do you even, I'm trying to picture what type of fantasy was this, like what made you so interested about his life and his story to say, not only did I marry him, but now I'm ready to go up there and give him a conjugal visit. Do you know he's having conjugal visits with other men? Like, you 3 years, he's three life terms in the joint, and you're going up there and you're try like, I don't know. So even outside of having the conjugal visit with him, you trusted him with that, but you were gonna also trust him in an intimate way. So I don't know, like, he ain't been to a doctor or nothing. Like, ma'am, like, it's a lot of things to look at. Cedric is saying that prison needs to be closed because they're partially to blame. That, listen, Cedric, I'm with you on that. I'm just still trying to figure out, how does this happen? How does you are unalive, or how do you get a conjugal visit? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm just like, how did they meet? Like, what site? I don't know. But again, it's a sad, unfortunate situation, but it just makes me say, I just want to, reach out and just say, you know what, listen, please be mindful of this. Please be mindful of these dating sites, and just please be mindful. And listen, ladies, I know, so listen, get a little rough out there sometimes. You know what? But look, if you cannot control, listen, it's too many toys out there. It's too much other stuff out there. You would have been better off getting a rose or two, or going and back. Listen, you would have been better off doing that, opposed to meeting an unaliver and then marrying him, and then you become another one of his victims. Like, what he has nothing to lose. He had absolutely nothing to lose. What are they gonna say? We're gonna give you life. He already got that. He already had that. So we have to be so mindful for that. Thank you very much, Derek. He says, you're beautiful. Thank you very much, Derek, for that. I appreciate it. But we definitely have to be mindful for that. But listen, let's not be too quick to start jumping on this, meeting these folks. Now, listen, speaking of jumping on, have another celebrity hot topic. Listen, they are jumping on the internet is dragging and striving to, they're having a huge problem with Mama Felicia Rashad. Listen, Mama Felicia Rashad done got on here and has sliced these chicks up, these half-dressed chicks. She has sliced them up, and they hate it. They are, listen, listen, Mama Felicia Rashad is saying, for no man wants to see his woman dressing half naked in public. Fellas, what say ye to this? Because Mama Felicia Rashad done already spoke. Listen, your man don't want to see you dressed like a tramp, a low common street walker in public. He just does not want it. He wants you to be his street walker in private, but he does not want to see you dressed that way. Fellas, was Mama Felicia Rashad right? Was she right when she said, you know what? I only want you hooking and dressing like a hooker for me. I don't need you dressing like a hooker for none of these other dudes. Was Mama Felicia Rashad right when she said that? Or was that, listen, she's almost 80 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old. That was back in her day. See, only the streetwalkers had a problem with her saying that. I agree with what she said. Because listen, we have to be honest. Today, people look, y'all just don't, some of y'all have went too far with these outfits. You all have went too far with this. It's too much. You can see everything. And I do mean everything. You listen, you can see where the stretch mark starts to where it ends. Some of these outfits are so ridiculous. Cedric, you're saying, I'm glad a mature woman has finally said it. Absolutely. And listen, so like me, I'm saying it. Oh, these, God, you just hate me. You just, for what? I have bada bing and bada bang too. Why do I have to hate on yours? I'm tired of seeing it. Do I have to see it all the time? Like you open these apps up and that is all you see. You see half naked. It's like men are not even excited to see women anymore. It's like it's taking all of the surprise out of it, because when you go on a first date, listen, you can't even imagine how, you don't even have to imagine how she's built, because her outfit shows it all. It shows everything. Everything. It's everything. So fellas, how do you feel? Are you okay with your woman dressing half naked in public, or are you with Mama Felicia Rashad? Listen, girl, go put you some clothes on. Go put some clothes on. Like, we can't even listen. Go put some clothes on. You're not going outside with me like that. You cannot be my woman and go outside like that. Now, ladies, how would you feel if your man is telling you that? Or are you one of those women that will say, you know what? If he ain't my husband, he can't tell me nothing. And if you are her, I will say this: keep that same energy when you want some money from him. Says he's not your husband, don't expect no money from him. Don't expect nothing from him. See, you see how they go now. I'm a hater. Now, you just like want to be a pick me. No, I'm just, trying to understand how you trying to require him to do a certain thing for you, and he ain't your husband, but he asks you not to dress a certain way. Now he can't tell you that because he ain't your husband. Hey, listen, you got to give a little to get a little. So you got to understand, listen, choose ye your battles. Cedric, you're saying that ish ain't even attractive. Listen, I done seen some of them, like you're seeing areolas and all. Listen, you see some of everything, like just hanging. Listen, I've been in, look, it's somebody, they have some sheer, I don't know, it's some type of sheer pants. I don't know. They're not stock. I don't know if they're pantyhose or what, but it's like, baby, you just imagine some pantyhose, and they out here with these pantyhose on with no panties, no shorts on, no pants. And I'm trying to order my coffee, and now I got to keep myself from losing my breakfast because I'm standing behind you and you got all of this. And not only does it look disgusting, it look all lumpy, like, like it's that Play-Doh, like the little kids, you just pushing, you know how Play-Doh is. You put your fingers in there and it leaves the imprint in the Play-Doh. That's how some of these behinds are looking. Now, Jay, what you looking at? Listen, you have no choice but to look when it's standing right, it's staring you right there in the face. I'm just trying to order my food, and now I have to be disgusted. Now I have to try to figure out, is it a rock? Is your behind, is it a rock hard? And I got to figure out now, listen, what happened? Why is one cheek sitting up here? Why is the other one like, so as I'm waiting for my turn, I'm just like, well, I don't I don't really understand like what happened. And I'm contemplating on, should I tap her on her shoulder and say, ma'am, do you know that one of your butt cheeks is sitting up lower, than the other? Like, it's like the scale, like one is up here and the other one is down here. Again, you may say, Jay, so how you notice all that? You got it out there. What do you mean? How do I notice it? You ain't got no drawers on. That's how I know it's sitting right in front of me. I'm just trying to order my coffee, and now I got to see all that. I got to see all that. So, fellas, is it too much? Cedric is saying it ain't even. It's not even attractive anymore. Like, some of y'all are doing too much. Jack is saying a woman talking about another woman's butt, complaining about it. Wow. Yeah, I did. Yeah, Jack, I did. And I will continue to do so, because we have to do better. I can talk about it because I got one. You see what I'm saying? And it just, we have to be able to take some, listen, we live in a day and time where nobody wants to be corrected about anything. There's no morals, there's no standards, there's no, there's nothing. Nobody wants to follow any protocol. Everybody just, oh, you hate you. Oh, you talking about another woman's butt and complaining. Oh, wow. Oh, listen. How can we do better if we're not even able to accept feedback? Criticism, constructive criticism, positive, constructive, positive. We have to be able to do better. We have to do better. We can't sit up there and make it seem like, oh, well, just because everybody is doing it, that is right. It's not. Just because everybody, that's why we are in the state that we're in now. And Mama Felicia Rashad is having to call people out. Yes, it is absolutely ridiculous. We have to do better. Save something for your man. If you want to dress sexy and seductive, save it for your man. Everything shouldn't be open to the public. I shouldn't know what your butt looks like. I shouldn't know how many lumps or how many thumps are in your butt. Your man should know that. I shouldn't know where your stretch marks begin on your thigh and where it end up your back. I shouldn't know that. That's because you're doing too much. I'm not doing too much. I'm not doing too much. I do my best to keep bada bing and bada bang covered up, because what I got is my business. Now, if I decide to share with you my business, then you'll find out what's on my business. But it's not for the world to see. Like, everybody, we've gotten too comfortable with that. Cedric, you said, if I want a crackhead, I'll go to Roosevelt and Independence. Let me know how I go over there. Let me know how I go over there. And Pretty Tasha is saying, Sister J, some guy named, that I'm not going to say his name, I met on a dating site last Saturday afternoon, going to tell me he going to purchase me a car. Pretty Tasha, I would not even be entertaining no foolishness like that. I personally just would not, like, listen, protect yourself at all costs, because what is that car gonna cost you? Listen, now, if you believe, like, listen, you got to pay to play, I would say this: never expect that when you're getting something like that from most men, that there won't be a cost attached to it. So I would always look at it like that, except for, I would say this, except for men that are wealthy. Wealthy men spend money. Like, and if you don't, they're not pressed up. If you do it to them, then that's great. If you don't do it to them, then you won't see them again. That lavish gift that you got, that'll be the last thing that you get from them. And they'll move on, and they're going to find somebody that's going to do some disgusting things to them, because they know that their pockets run deep. So they don't really worry about that. But it's the dudes that, you know, worrying about, if you gonna go Dutch with them or go 50-50 with them. Those be the dudes typically that want to buy a car, but then they're gonna take it back from you if you decide that you ain't gonna sleep with them and all this other stuff. So be very mindful of that. Sky is saying, don't expect something for nothing. Absolutely. Like if you're giving out a car, listen, just know that it's gonna be he's gonna be expecting you to do some things, some strange for some change. And but again, that's just the dudes. Again, I'll say that it depends on his income bracket. It depends on where he is, because again, men with money typically will throw that money around. And I'm not saying that they're not expecting anything, they are. But if you don't give it to them, they not gonna be pressed, because they like, okay, well, you know what? They got a new phone number. So when you call them to tell them thank you, your call ain't going through because they blocked you. And listen, you have been forgotten about. And now they knob slobbed on by somebody that he just gave a little purse. Listen, some of these guys, they have women's gifts and stuff. It's just like, look, listen, they have everything because they know what women like. So they have the purses already on deck. They have the personal shoppers. Listen, go to Lord and Taylor's and Saks Fifth Avenue and all this other stuff. Go tell them my name. You can go have you a little shopping spree and all that. Listen, it's so many things that men with money do that would impress women, that again, if you giving it up and they know you gonna give it up, because guess what, you want more. There's more from where that came from. But the brother that's complaining about that 50-50, oh, we going Dutch, be very mindful of entertaining that type of foolishness. That's all I'm gonna say, is be mindful of that. Cedric is saying, don't be giving away my luscious. Pretty Tasha, you said, gonna ask me what kind of car I drive, and then when I tell him I'm working and trying to save up money to get a new car towards the end of the year, and then he asked me what kind of car did I want, and I'm sorry, and then asked me what kind of car did I want, and then he said he was gonna he said I would tear in my eyes, asking me what my email was, gonna show me a picture of a car. Then now listen, that he's baiting you. He's baiting you, pretty Tasha. So I would definitely say, definitely leave that alone. Like, he's definitely baiting you. So I personally wouldn't. Hey Maurice, how you doing? Pretty Tasha, you also saying, my mother and my musician said to me that they did not understand why he would want to buy a car for a woman that he never met. Yeah, because he's baiting you and he's trying to play games. Listen, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. We'll talk. We can talk off in the chat offline about this, Pretty Tasha, because that's some foolishness right there. But when you're talking about, like, listen, what these men want and what they're requiring, you got to be ready to pay the price. So if you are accepting gifts, especially sizable gifts, am I saying that you are obligated to, to be intimate with a man? I'm not saying that you are obligated. What I am saying is, you better be prepared to drop to them knees or bend over a balcony. I'm saying you better. It's not wise to think otherwise. That's what I'm going to say. I would be lying to you if I said that you shouldn't be prepared for him to expect something. Jack is saying, baiting her to do what though? Be his woman? He's baiting her to meet him with the pretense of him giving her a car, when he has no intentions on giving her a car. He has no intentions of doing that. He's just trying to bait her so that she can get excited to meet him, and then he would do whatever, and she not get a car. That's what I mean by him striving to bait her. He's not looking for a woman. He's looking for somebody that he can use and play games with. That's what he's looking to do. Jack, how do I know that? Because I'm from out here in these streets. That's how I know that. It don't take a rocket scientist. Don't let this lip gloss get you tricked up. Listen, on that west side, listen, this is common. So that's how I know. But thank you for wanting me to prove my credentials, Jack. I really appreciate you asking how do I know I'm a certified knower, because I'm from that west side. That's how I know. See, don't let the lip gloss trick you up, because I know these things. But you have to be so mindful when you are meeting things. And another thing is, Jack, to answer your question, how do I know that he's baiting her? Because you're trying to grab a woman's attention with a gift, with a lavish, expensive gift. That's another sign to show that you are bait, that he's trying to bait her, because you're throwing gifts. He's not asking to get to know her. He is asking, and he's throwing out gifts to entice her so that she does not ask the right questions, so she does not do her due diligence. So all she's focusing on is what he is offering her, opposed to investigating and doing her homework and finding out who he really is. That's how you know that somebody is striving to bait you. And again, listen, yes, that's right, Cedric. West Side, listen, recognize that bull junkie all day long, all day long, all day strong. So it is what it is. Again, I've been, listen, I done been around the block, done been up the block, done, listen, we done crept through the alley, done, look, so it is what it is. But again, don't fall for it, because again, a man that's interested in getting to know you, he's not going to throw these type of gifts. Oh, I can get you a car, I can get you a house. Listen, I'm like this. Don't talk about it, be about it. If you know I don't got a car, you got a car for me, and we ride up on the first date, and you got a car, this is for you. Listen, do some ish like that. Don't tell me, surprise me. Surprise me. Do something. But this, listen, that's small time right there. That's small time. You're gonna have to come up with something bigger than that. Pretty Tasha, you're saying, Sister J, you're right. His text message looks suspicious. And he sent me a long text last night saying the been distance for 2 days, talking about he was suicidal and got rushed to the hospital. Listen, I would tell him to tell his parents, make sure they know what his last will and testament is. I hope that you don't take your own life, but if you do, amen. Amen. That's all I can tell you is amen. I have no sense. Listen, you got a ledge or something that you going to listen. I don't want you to do it, but if that's your way to go, if your family can't help you, listen, tell your mother and them, tell my dear and them to get their black dress, get their black stuff ready. That's all I can tell you. But you're not gonna worry me with this foolishness. But the reason he's doing that is because he knows that women, we by nature, we are carers, we are nurturers, we're nurturers. So we want to fix everybody, we want to fix everything. Stay away from that man. We just talked about the story where the prisoner, the 62-year-old woman met the prisoner, and he had 3 life sentences, and he unalived her. She ended up marrying him, and he unalived her when she went to visit him on his conjugal visit. Thomas is saying, you're right, sis. A man that is genuinely interested in you won't do that. Thomas is also saying that's called leading with money, and that it is. And then, some people get mad when women, that's what they're looking for is, for the money. But this is how you came at her. So now, oh, she's a waste, she's a gold digger. But sir, you led with that. Cedric, you're saying don't waste your time on that ninja. Listen, Pretty Tasha, that's coming from these men are stepping up and saying what it is. Now, listen, speaking of what it is, sometimes ladies, I don't know, this, when I read this, I said, you know what, this is definitely a new person. This has to be some new people ish. This young lady, she says that she was having problems with her car. So her boyfriend let her use his car. She said that she had been driving all day. And so she said that her baby daddy texted her and asked her if she could come and pick him up from work. And she said that she would pick him up from work. So she said that by the time she made it to pick him up from work, she was extremely tired. So she let the baby daddy drive her boyfriend's car. I'm going to say that again. You all heard me right. The girlfriend let her baby daddy drive her boyfriend's car. So in the midst of the baby daddy driving, the boyfriend FaceTimes the girlfriend, and he notices that she's not driving, that she's on the passenger side. So he's trying to figure out who you got driving my car. She tells him it's her baby daddy driving his car. So the boyfriend gets upset, start cursing her out, cursing the dude out. She hangs up. Miss Thing, and she says, he got the nerve. First of all, he can't tell me nothing. I'm not his wife. Huh? So you driving around in this man's car, got another man driving in this car, and you say you not his wife. He can't question you. Who is he to question you? You're not his wife. That's the first thing she said. And then she also said that this my baby daddy. I'ma always have his back. I'ma always jump down for my baby daddy. He's a good baby daddy. Am I wrong for this? Wench, what? Wait, you got the nerve to ask people, are you wrong for using your boyfriend's car and letting another man drive his car? Then you get upset because he's checking you on your behavior and you got a problem with him? See, this is where this is what the problem is. Baby girl, you are 1,000% wrong. You got your baby daddy driving your boyfriend car. The moment he called you and asked you to pick him up, or text you and asked you to pick him up, your answer should have been no. Why are you picking him up? If he's a good baby daddy, listen, he have to figure that out on his own. So to me, it's a lot of things, it's a lot of different ways to look at this. For him to even be that comfortable with asking you to pick him up, that means that you all still have some type of relationship. Like you guys are still in some type of communication that's on a personal level, opposed to it being about your child. That's what I'm kind of picking up from that, because I can't see a man that's not on that level with you, or that still does not have that type of relationship with you. I can't see him asking you for that. So that's the first thing. As Cedric says, she's for the streets. She's absolutely for the streets. And you need to pack her up and put her back over there with her good baby daddy so that they can figure it out and they can get her car fixed and do whatever it is that they need to do without you. But she's definitely for the streets. Cedric, you're also saying, not only would I call my car in as stolen, all of her and her baby daddy's ish would be immediately thrown out of my crib. I couldn't have said it better myself, Cedric. And the fact that she had the audacity to think that her behavior was okay is what's really sad and what's really messed up, because no, like, how do you do that? Wait, so Jack is saying she caused that misunderstanding. She didn't even ask that man. Why no? You said her baby daddy, not a stranger. Petty. Some adults be so childish. So, Jack, what do you think should have happened? You don't think that she was wrong for having her baby daddy in her boyfriend's car, and not only had him in there, but he's driving this man's car? Like, of course, anybody would be upset. Like, anybody would be upset seeing that. That's totally disrespectful. And what woman is going to listen? I'm gonna call my boyfriend. Uh, well, you know what? Radio. Um, okay, so let me say, so uh Look pork skin, my baby daddy, he want me to pick him up from work. And I know I got your car, but can I pick him up using your car? What? I don't know. Listen, I have not. Are you trying to get your shirt wrinkled up like this? Like, what kind of foolishness? I don't understand. I know that it would not be a question that I would be asking. I know I would not. And I've done some ish, but that ain't one of them. So now when she get home, if you pull her up by a shirt like this because she done hung up and she was talking slick on the phone, now he gonna be wrong. Yes, you are wrong, sir. Don't pull her by a shirt because touching anything is domestic violence and you can't be arrested for that. So I'm not suggesting do any of that. I would do what Cedric did. Pack her and her ish up and send her over there to her good baby daddy that she had driving your car. I'd send her over there. Hey JP, how you doing? She said, I need mine. We will not be playing around in this man's car. That's what we not gonna do. So yes, that was very, very disrespectful, and not only to the baby, to the boyfriend, but like, young lady, like, come on, like, y'all, come on, we gotta move better. I mean, we live in this society where we don't care about anything, anybody. We live in a selfish type of situation. You're saying, okay, so Jack is saying you're scared to ask a question. That's not, listen, Jack, that's not a question. You should already know the answer to that. Like, that shouldn't even be a question. That's not a question that I would even entertain asking my man, because first of all, asking that question is going to open up so many windows. Like, the first thing, why why are you giving him a ride? Why is he that comfortable asking you for a ride? Where's his girlfriend at? Where's his baby? Where's his other baby mama? Where is his support system? Where are his people? Why does he need to ask you? I don't know. Listen, fellas, let me get a poll. If Is this a question? Would you be okay with your woman asking you, can she pick another man, or can she pick her baby daddy up in your car? Are you okay with her asking that? Are you okay with her picking up another man in your car? Let me know, what do you all think about that? Because Jack, and guys, go to YouTube if you're wondering where I'm getting these comments at. My YouTube family is checking in, so I appreciate you all. Jack is saying, you won't know until you ask. He's like, what you scared to ask for? What you scared to ask about it? And the Invisible Rebel saying she didn't ask him because she ain't loyal to him. What what she's about, I'm sorry, it went too fast. What she's about, his what she say about not being his wife still says it all. Absolutely. She is more than for the streets. She is for the effing highways. Someone with yes. I like that. I like that, the Invisible Rebel. She is for the highway. He said she ain't for the streets. This chick is for the entire highway. Jack, you're saying I'd respect her. I'd respect her for asking me instead of just doing it without asking me. I can respect that answer. But I wouldn't ask, and I know most dudes on here are saying no. The Invisible Rebel is saying respect at least for themselves as a woman, won't even have an ex near them when being in a relationship. And if they ain't loyal, you bet that they're anything worse besides. There you have it. Absolutely. I'm with you right there. The Invisible Rebels, you are absolutely right. You wouldn't even have him that close. And that's to piggyback on what I said earlier, what type of relationship do they have that he was even comfortable enough to ask her for a ride? That right there said a lot about her relationship still with the baby daddy. And then the fact that she said, hey Kevin, how you doing? And the fact that she said, he ain't my husband, who is he to be questioning me? That said a lot about the respect that she has for this man that she's in a relationship with. So a lot of times, sometimes listen, we just got to listen and look and see what these people are all about. But a lot of times when we listen to what people are saying, we'll find out what they're all about. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Come over you, me love you for you. Come over you, do what jam me for you. Come over you, me love you for you. Come over you, hey. Let me tell you now, how the Congo girl, I'm up right through, line up every tune, dancing in my blood, in the African way, that's so much I can share. Congo girl, come over you, me love you for you. Congo girl, come over you, do what jam me for you. Congo girl, come over you, me love you for you. Congo girl, come over you, hey. Spirit out on the run, can't talk what you don't know. Don't jump in me so, now we'll see what we go do. Warrior to my heart, vibrate like a jump from start. Holy Congo no ma, energy just like a work of art. Congo girl, come over you, me love you for you. Congo girl, come over you, do what jam me for you. Congo girl, come over you, me love you for you. Congo girl, come over you, hey. Ina go down low, ina go down low, so water give me some, ina go down low, ina go down,
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, please do me a favor. Do me a huge favor. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe to our channel there. Join our discussion over there because it's cracking over there, the J Spot Radio. Go to our Facebook page, follow us there, the J Spot. Go to Instagram, like and follow us, the J Spot. J is Jaye for all three. Guys, listen, we have been having an amazing discussion tonight. And listen, we're going to get right into it. We're going to keep it up. Now, listen, you all, I'm telling you, I said I had to make a note to myself. I said, I have to mention this to you all. This is some foolishness. Okay, there is a product out. I'm not going to mention the name of it, but there is a product out and it is supposed to, it's a body deodorant. And so a part of the commercial is saying that, it keeps you fresh for days. And it says, even down there, it keeps you fresh. It keeps your South Virginia regions fresh for, up to 72 hours. Baby, let me tell you something. This is a trick. That product is a trick from the pit. Okay? I'm going to tell you, can't nobody, listen, nobody's down south regions can stay clean and fresh for 72 hours. You all, this product is not, if you have melanin in your skin, this product is not for you. It's not. Listen, it's mandatory that you wash between me and thee. It is mandatory. Me and thee will not stay fresh for 72 hours. Who is lying to you all about that? This is no. When I'm seeing this, I'm working and I'm like, I keep seeing this commercial and I'm like, ma'am, it don't keep, listen, that thing, listen, in the summertime, y'all know it's about to be hot outside. She out there, she walking around, she sweating, baby. And she go home and instead of jumping in the tub, she sprays some of that. No, No, okay? It's not gonna work. That thing needs some water, okay? It needs some water. I'm not gonna say soap too much. It depends on. Listen, you need some water. You need some vinegar down there. You need some. You need some type of disinfectant to clean that thing out. But that 72-hour body deodorant, that's not for us. They have lied. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they are lying, and we're not. We're not. Look it up yourself. The commercial is hilarious because I saw it, and they got the lady up in the doctor, she getting a little pap smear, and the doctor is like, if you wonder why I'm smiling, because she's using. I said, baby, I wish I would be sitting up here smiling. Somebody got that thing popped open, and you talking about it's fresh after 72 hours because she done used this. Listen, it's hard to keep that thing fresh for 10 hours. Listen, you get off of work, it's time to go home and wash up. So listen, you all, us melt, don't do it. I felt compelled to tell you all that. You said, listen, Jack is saying, where do women get their sense of authority from? Because we got one. I got a thing down there. So that's how I can tell you that it don't stay. I know other women that got things. So it don't stay fresh. It needs water. You know that you got a tree. You know that your tree, you know that the nuts and the berries, you know that branch needs to be cleaned every day. You know it needs to be, you done been out there working hard. You know it needs to be clean. You know it's been sweaty and all of this other stuff. It needs to be clean. So that's where we get our authority from, Jack, because it needs to be clean. That's just that. If you've been around, listen, if you haven't been around enough of them, that's probably why you may not know that they need to be clean. You be around enough of them, you'll know that, yeah, they've lied in this commercial right here. This that bull junkie right here. I can tell you right there, that's that bull junkie. So listen, don't do it. Cedric, you saying that sounds like some MAGA-ish. Cedric, listen, y'all go look it up. I'm telling you, just look up a 72-hour body deodorant, and y'all will see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But it's listen, it's a no. You need water, because I can just we need water. It just needs water on that thing. But I just felt compelled. I had to mention that because I'm like, no, 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 no. Now listen, speaking of no, what do you all think about this? Is it wrong? Okay, we listen. This is where I'm about to get unfollowed, and this is where some people are gonna have a whole bunch of say. It's okay. We're gonna still like each other and love. And guess what? It's gonna be all right. Is it wrong for a woman to keep a baby if the man made it clear he didn't want one? Again, is it wrong for a woman to keep the baby when the man made it clear he doesn't want a baby? He doesn't want any kids, but the woman decided to keep the kid. Is she wrong for keeping the kid? What do you think about that? What do you guys think about that? The guy is saying, you know what? Listen, I don't want any kids. She done got popped off. She says, you know what? Listen, I want to keep the kid. He's like, I don't want any kids. You knew I didn't want any kids. What do you all think about that? Who's wrong? Who's wrong for that? What do you guys think about that? Is she wrong for keeping the baby, or is he wrong for saying that? My thing is this. Listen, it takes two to tangle. Okay? So, if is she wrong for keeping the baby after he made it clear that he didn't want one? I don't think she is. I don't think she is. Cedric is saying no. The reason, Cedric, tell me why you answer no, so that the men can understand from a man's point of view why you're saying no. And I'm going to explain from my point of view, from a woman's point of view, why I say no. The reason I say no, she's not wrong, is because they both should have taken the necessary precaution to ensure that a baby was not created when they came together. So it's both of their responsibility. And I would say for him, like, sir, even more for you. You should have been even more adamant about, in my opinion, been more adamant about protecting yourself, because you feel so strongly about not wanting any kids. So you should have been more like covering all of your bases to ensure that she did not get pregnant, that you did not create a child. Let me say that. To ensure that you did not create a child, you should have been extra careful. The invisible rebel saying, nope, the baby is inside of her. Guess who gonna go through trauma if she aborts? Absolutely. And Jack saying, respect that man's authority. Well, he didn't respect his own authority, Jack. And the invisible real rebels are saying the woman is right, but might need to prepare to care for it in the case he won't help. She'll need to work hard for a time and be responsible for her decisions. Thomas is saying no, she's not wrong. It's her choice. Just look forward to him not really supporting the child like he should. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, again, and these are very real answers in real situations, because again, he is letting you know. So for that, both reasons, I would say this as well. Like, yo, lady, he's telling you he doesn't want any kids. So again, she should have been extra careful as well, as to not get pregnant by someone that is clearly telling you up front they don't want any kids. He was not sugarcoating it. He was not doing any of that. My only problem, and I would say with that, first Cedric is saying it's not his choice after he dropped that load inside of her. Absolutely. My biggest problem though with statements like this is, I'm not ready for kids and I don't want any kids. If you're in a relationship with someone, now you're trying to use protection, but they don't want to use protection. What the F you think is going to happen if we out here doing a horizontal mambo with no protection? What the F you think going to happen if you dropping that load without any protection? What you think going to happen? What do you think? So that's the part that I get totally confused about. You want a raw dog because, oh, I don't use condoms. It make me allergic. But she can't use the pill. So now then y'all shouldn't be together. Y'all should not be having no type of intimate relations because you don't want to use it. You want it don't feel the same. But then she get pregnant. You know I ain't want no kids. You know I didn't want no. Bama, how? How can you say you didn't want no kids, but you don't want to use protection because it don't feel the same? But now it feel like you finna have a baby in 9 months, and now you mad. So you mad because she's saying, you know what? Listen, let's use some protection. I don't use protection. I don't want to do. So you raw dogging it, stroking it all up. You ain't even trying to pull out. And then she pregnant. Now you trying to trap me. Bama, what? You trapped your own effing self because you went in there and you just blew it up like, and you fall asleep in it. And now you mad because how? So can somebody tell me how does that make sense? How do you think? What do you think? Jack is saying, what you think gonna happen when you put that wet box on, on our branch? The invisible reels are saying, if you see they are not wanting kids and want unprotected sex, then the woman should protect herself and go. I totally agree with you, Invisible Rebels. And Jack, you're saying, so you putting it on the men. I said both people, Jack. I said both people. I said, but he should be more cautious himself if he's the one that's adamant about not wanting any kids. But I said it's both people's responsibility. And the Invisible Rebel is saying ditching responsibility. Jack is saying, see, this is what I'm talking about. Women thinking they have authority. I don't understand what that comment means. And Jack, you're also saying out of pocket, shaking my head. The Invisible Rebel is saying, nope, I put this on the man doing it tough. And then you're saying ditching responsibility. Wow, that's what Jack is saying. Well, I'm not really sure who's ditching responsibility. I'm not sure if you didn't get the rest of the conversation, but I said, and I'll say again, both people are responsible. But again, if this man is knowing that down, like he's just diehard, I don't want any kids, you need to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to ensure you do not create a baby when you up in there. Ow, 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 baby. Whose is it? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Jumping like it's hot. Yeah, you need to make sure that you have all your bases covered so a child is not created in that situation. But again, a woman, when you hear a man telling you that, be ever so careful and extra cautious for yourself, because you don't want to be in a situation like this. And then, like the fellas are saying, you have a baby with a man that does not want a baby, because now you're going to 9 times out of 10, you're going to raise that child alone. You are going to raise that child alone because the man told you he didn't want a kid. Is that right? Again, I don't think it's right, because again, so now that the responsibility is here, now that the baby is here, now guess what? Guess who gets to get off scot-free? It will be the man. So ladies, if you're not willing to listen, and it's sad that you got to say this, but if you're not prepared to be a single mom, again, you got to protect yourself extra as well, because again, you don't want to be in a situation where you're having a baby with a man that does not want a baby. You don't want to be in that type of situation. The Invisible Rebels is saying, well, go and find these women to complain to, because I ain't really them and they ain't me. And Jack saying, you talking about, okay, so I guess y'all having another conversation. Thomas is saying some form of protection should have been used. They have female condoms too. I totally agree. Thomas. Again, you can't, but here's what I'm going to say is the pushback I will give is you can't be a man saying that you don't, and I'm saying you can't be that man to say, make this statement, I don't want any kids, but then you want a raw dog. It don't make sense. Like, help me understand. Somebody help me understand that one. How you trying to raw dog, but then the same before you raw dog it, you're saying you don't want any kids. You have to help me understand that. You got to help me understand that, because birth control pills are not 100%. No birth control. The only way to 100% ensure that you don't have any kids, you gotta choke Bob out yourself and wash your kids down the drains off your hands. That's the only, I had to say it. I told y'all before I started talking about this, this will be the point where somebody blocks me, unfollows me, or whatever it is. It's okay. I'm used to it. That's the only 100% way to ensure that a child is not created. You sit there, you pleasure yourself, and you wash your kids down the drains off your hands. That's the only 100% way to guarantee that once you bust one, you ain't gonna be nobody's baby daddy. You're not gonna have any unwanted children, because guess what? Your children are swimming in the sink. Your Children are swimming in the sewer because you've washed them off. You did not release into a woman. But if you releasing in a woman and you not using no protection and she gets pregnant, where's your accountability? Who's listen? And again, the flip side to it is, ladies, if you are allowing him to raw dog and he's telling you that he does not want kids, you got to be careful. You got to be very careful, because again, you're putting yourself in a position to be a single mom because the man has told you that he doesn't want any kids. And sometimes, listen, some of us think, listen, we gonna put it on him so good he gonna change. No, he's not. He listen, he's not. He's not gonna change his mind. It don't matter how cute you think the baby look. A lot of times when men say that, they mean it 10 toes down, and you have to be prepared to take responsibility because clearly he is going to check out. Just know that. So weigh your options. Do I want to be a single mom? Do I want to continue to go into this situation knowing this man has said he doesn't want any kids? So what do I do? Because again, at the end of the day, my body, my choice, or is it really my choice? Is it really my choice? Yes, at the end of the day, it's my choice. But is it my responsibility and my responsibility solely alone? I don't think so. Because again, if she got a rose and a toy to play with, she ain't got to worry about nobody's kids. She ain't got to worry about that. But if you coming over and you saying it with your chest, I don't want no kids, I don't want no kid, no baby, and she gonna have a baby anyway. What, did you use protection? She said she was on the pill. Again, I repeat, did you use protection? She said she was on the pill. You can't tell me you don't want no kids, and when you're asked the question, did you use protection, you put it back on her and say she said she was on the pill. But you're the one that said you didn't want any kids. So you should have been adamant about covering your own behind and having your own protection just in case. So you should have been doubling up. Again, I am not putting or saying women are not responsible. I am not saying that. So in all thy ways, get an understanding on what I am saying. I'm saying it's both people are responsible. What I'm saying outside of that, or in addition to that, is that you cannot be the man saying you don't want kids, but you have failed to protect yourself. You always have to cover your own behind. You always have to cover your best interest for you. What if she forgot she's taking the pill? Do you know how time consuming? Do you know how on the dot a woman has to be for these pills? 5 minutes off from when she's supposed to take them. It could be the difference between you being a daddy or not. A day if she miss a pill and she got to double up. So no, she didn't lie to you and tell you she wasn't on no pills, because she was. But any small thing could change, could alter her hormones, and the pill is not working effectively. So it's so many variables. So you can't especially at this point in the game, we should know now. Listen, none of these birth control pills is not 100%. Condoms are not 100%. None of this stuff is 100%. So we should already know that by now. Like, we should not, in the 30 plus age range, we should no longer be pointing fingers. It's his fault. It's her fault. Listen, once we come together, it's both of our faults. It's both of our responsibility. Once we come together and intertwine and do the horizontal mumbo, it is both of our responsibilities. And so we have to proceed accordingly. But the pointing back and forth, we should be beyond that. But the slightest things from her schedule, the timing of taking the pill, It's so many different variables that go into these with the birth control pills that it's wise to use a condom or some other form of birth control in case. Because again, it's so much stuff. There's so many, so many different things that could happen. So again, you ask her, are you on a pill? Yeah, she on a pill. But are you taking the pills regularly? Are you taking them the way you're supposed to be? Are you taking them when you're supposed to take them? It's so many things that matter when a woman is taking the pill. So you got to be careful with that. And just again, protect yourself. That's it. Don't go trying to raw dog. Don't try to go doing all of that. Protect yourself. Cedric, you're saying, and he or she would have been carrying that package. You said Jimmy had, absolutely. You said HIV, absolutely. So all these things that could occur in addition to having a baby if a condom is not worn. So not only could you get this baby that you don't want, but as Cedric was saying, there's so many different STDs that you can get as well. So it's always wise to just use protection. Again, to protect, both people should be protecting themselves. And again, you have to, especially in this day and age, because here's the thing, baby. You can be faithful and in a relationship with somebody and you loving their dirty draws and they are for the entire streets and they will bring you back something. You sitting up here like, wait a minute, how did I get this, baby? And will lie through their teeth like, wait, what? I'm sitting up here loving you and you are for, like somebody said, for the expressway. You are for the entire expressway. Not just for the streets, you are for the entire expressway. So you can't trust people these days because, again, when you're sleeping with somebody and you're sleeping with them without protection, you're literally putting your life in their hands. Literally, literally putting your life in their hands because you don't know what they have, who they been with, where they going when they not with you. They dipping off with this person and then coming back and dipping off with you. Not using protection with nobody. Nobody. And then you end up with something and then they looking cross-eyed like, what you, I don't know what is he talking about? Invisible Rebel is saying, Jay, I have a question. How to navigate confusion when a man cheats, when he feeds you lies, and you are already emotionally attached? Woo, child. Oh, Lord, that's a loaded question. So let me break it down and I do have another segment that goes into these deep, heartfelt questions, Invisible Rebel, called Pillow Talk with Jay. But I'll answer that question quickly. How do you navigate confusion when a man cheats? How I navigate, once I found, and I'm speaking from today, the Jay I am today, I leave. There's no navigating. I know I'm emotionally attached. Yes, I am. But what I don't do, and that's for me. I'm over the cheating part. I'm over, like, I feel like in my life, I've forgiven enough cheating. So I don't have any more forgiving for cheating and then moving forward. I'm going to forgive you to move forward, to have peace. But as far as forgiving you and us staying together, I'm over that. Like, I don't have that in me anymore. So I'm going to forgive you. But at the point where I am today, I'm a person that, listen, you don't have to block me. You don't have to unfriend me. You don't have to do any of that, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't text. I don't call. I don't check social media. If you see me in public, if you speak, I give you the nod. I give you the what's up nod. If you don't speak, there's no love lost over here. There's no, now, again, that's the outer. But now we're going to keep it real. My heart could be breaking in 1,000 pieces. I could be crying my eyes out at home, but you will never see that. Never. I'm not begging you to come back. I'm not asking you why. You did what you did. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. And we are where we are. I wish you the best with whomever you are with, wherever you are, nothing but the best. Just you just can't come back over here. You just can't come back over here because guess what? I'm definitely not going back over there. Again, I'm not a caller. I'm not a texter. I'm not a, oh, well, let me see how he's doing. I don't care how you doing. To be honest, I don't. And I won't reach out. I won't like a social media picture. And me, I'll probably be the one to turn off the notifications so I don't see your stuff in my timeline. Now I am that person because I don't want to see your stuff. I won't necessarily unfriend or unfollow or anything like that, but I will definitely turn off the notifications so I don't see your stuff in my feed. That I will do something like that, but I'm not the type to go and lurk on your page and see how you're doing or have a friend to lurk on your page or any of that. Because once we're over, I no longer care what you do. I don't. I wish you all the best. So that is how today's me would navigate through the confusion. But now let me tell you what the yesterday me used to do. The yesterday me will pull on up. Listen, the yesterday me will get my girls. We'll pull up, baby. We'll be on that west side. We'll be listen in them TT bushes. See, there you go, right there. Oh, I knew he was cheap. I knew he was over here. But see, let me tell you, that's when my knees was good. I don't have those knees anymore. So I can't listen. I don't have the energy for all of that anymore. Like I really don't. Like I need to be asleep by 7:30. I can't listen. I don't have all that West Side energy that I used to have. So therefore I'll let a lot of stuff go because I don't have time for it. But like I say, that yesterday, Jay, man, we be over there, listen, trying to put some stuff in your car in a tank, all kinds of nonsense that just thankfully, I'm sitting here before you. And I would say if I could go back and tap yesterday me on the shoulder and say, hey, what's on your mind? What's wrong with you? Why are you out here in these TT bushes over here on this west side, knowing these bushes smell like urine, and you over here looking for a dude? You over here, you sneeze, I'm sneezing. I'm like, because listen, y'all know they all a lot of them on them drugs and stuff over there on that west side, the deep west side where I was, baby. That was drug urine in them bushes, and I'm up there, got the nerve to be up there looking. Wait, I know, I see his car right there, girl. Look, stop, quit, look, quit moving. We got to stay right there because when he come out, I got him. When he come out, I got him. In them bushes on that west side, baby, kneeling up. When I tell y'all, just straight foolishness. Just straight foolishness. That's what was going on and how I navigated through the foolishness back yesterday. But again, the biggest thing was not only maturing, but knowing who you are, like knowing your value and knowing your worth. And when you know your value and when you know your worth, you move differently. Don't focus so much on what social media is saying your worth is. Oh, well, if she got 2 baby daddies, if she got 5 kids, who gonna want her? It's somebody out here that's gonna want you. You got them 5 kids, right? It was 5 dudes or 3 dudes or 2 dudes or 1 dude wanted you. So listen, there's gonna be another one and another one. These dudes are not hard to get. I promise you, they are not. Now, a good one, which is what we're gonna be talking about tonight. The I don't need a man syndrome, the I don't need a man. What is its organization? It's a trend. I feel like it's a trend, and it's a more recent now than ever type trend. The I don't need a man. But do women do women really believe that? Do women really believe that they don't need a man? Are some of these reality shows creating a false perception of what women want and what they need? Is, because every time you look on the show, it's a housewife, but a lot of times the way that they're portraying the women, they're not really being portrayed as what a wife would really be. Like, in today's society, it's looked at as a badge of honor, to be a part of that following, the I don't need a man type following. And it's really sad because it's so much that's going on. There is nothing wrong with needing or wanting a man. We live in a day and time where someone, especially a woman wanting a man, is looked upon as a sign of weakness. Baby, let me say, tonight we are going to put that bull junkie to rest tonight. Listen, I'm going to say it again. There is nothing wrong with needing a man. Let me tell you something. Not only a man, but a strong black man, okay? Let me tell you, a strong black man that know how to swing that schlong dong. Let's get it right. A strong black man that does not share his schlong dong. A strong black man whose schlong dong is not for the streets. See, that's the black man. See, that's the man I'm talking about. Now, if you got you one of those, then I'm sure you are not jumping on this. I don't need no man. I don't need no. Okay. Okay. Keep on with that. I don't need a man. What do you really need a man for? I just told you that rose can't do what that schlong dong do, okay? The rose can only listen, the rose can only do so much, okay? Let's be honest. But the rose don't have a chest. The rose don't, it's so many different things that the rose cannot. It can give you an infection if you keep on using it too much, can make you a little desensitized. Well, okay, but let's get back to what the schlong dong can give you. But so look, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with needing a man and wanting a man. And don't let these people put this, it's like this culture. It's like again, the following, the culture that we're living in today, society, they don't want black women. And this is and for those that don't believe it is, look up any other race and you don't see any other women having campaigns about why they don't need a man. It's just not happening. It's for black women. So I'm speaking for the black women. Again, one thing that says, listen, when he got that schlong dong and he's putting it, and it's just for you. He does not have schlong dong that's waving at everybody every time he comes around. His schlong dong is just friendly. This schlong dong is just for you. There's nothing like needing a man and wanting a man that does what he says and means what he says and does what he says. There's nothing wrong with a man that does not mind putting you first. There's nothing wrong with needing and wanting a man that you have no problem with putting first. See, it's all about finding the right man. And that's where this situation comes up. And that's where we come up with this. I don't need a man. That's because you ain't found the right man. You found the man that's for everybody. Everybody, man. So of course you're gonna have some problems because he's for the streets. He's shareable. Just like these Word documents, you got to make the Word document shareable. He's shareable. And that makes a lot of women say, you know what? I don't need a man because you've been through so much. But I'll say this, we have to take the time to heal because we all need somebody. There's a comfort in having a partner, in having a man, in having a best friend, in having a confidant, in having somebody that will protect you, in having somebody that will lead you. But it got to be the person and the man that is on one accord with you. Now, listen, I know some of y'all be like, well, listen, I don't need no man for all that. Listen, I'm going to say, hey, if this isn't important to you, the stuff that I just mentioned above, if it ain't important for you, then you're right. Maybe you don't need a man. But for those of us that do, listen, I say a lot of stuff. I talk crazy. I talk out the side of my neck. Probably 75%, I'm going to say 75% of the time. 75% of the time, I'm talking crazy. But one thing you are never going to hear me say is that I don't need a man. You're not going to hear me say that at all because I don't know who put that foolery out into the atmosphere, but we're going to just slowly cancel that ish. We're going to cancel that. Black Love is saying, I agree. Exactly. Once you find a man that you respect, the man I started to stand on business and stand on his word. Absolutely. Once you find him, that I don't need a man type foolishness, it goes out the door. It goes out the door because you know that what you got, he got you. You got him and he got you. He's solid. And he's standing 10 toes down on that. How could you not need that? How could you fix your mouth and say you don't want that? Now listen, for those that are not intimate, this conversation is not for you. I'm not trying to sway you on why you should want a man. This is strictly for the superficial, the women that have the superficial reasons on why they don't need a man. You at Black Love, I rebuke it. I rebuke that foolery. I don't need a man. Listen, how do you not need somebody that's tall, that smell good, their chest is hard? You know what? Even his chest may not be hard. He may have the man titties, but he smell good. And he can give you that big old bear hug and pick you up. His hands may be a little callous from working all hard, but he take them callous hands and massage your shoulders. How do you not need that? How do you not admire that? A man that get up, he see you tired. He get up with the kids. They running around. Hey, sit down. Your mama trying to sleep. How do you not need that? How do you need if your car break down? You call them. Babe, my car broke down. I don't know what to do. I'm on my way. How do you not need that? Yeah, you could call AAA, but ain't nothing like your man coming to get you because he care about you and he want to protect you and making sure you okay. AAA can't do that, but your man can. So when you got a good man, you're not going to be quick to jump on this. If you've ever experienced having a good man, you may not have a good man at this point, but you may be saying, you know what? Jaye, she loud and all, but she telling the truth. Her voice kind of get on my nerves, but you know what? She telling the truth. Because when you got you a good man, you ain't finna jump on this. You ain't finna wave the I don't need a man type flag. I can do. Baby, let me tell you something. I need a man when I get out the shower, baby. I got white floors and I done seen a centipede. I'm never coming out until somebody come and kill it. I'm not. I've seen water bugs, all kinds of bugs and ish. Listen, I need a man. In the wintertime when all that snow is out there, who finna dig your car out? It feels good to have a man. It feels good to have a man when you come home and you didn't have a good day. And he's encouraging you. Listen, I know it didn't work out today. You know what? But you got this. You got this. You got a man that's cheering you on. When you got a good man, he's your biggest fan. He's your biggest supporter. He's your biggest person to believe in you. The biggest one. You can't tell me you don't need that. Black Love is saying if he can't come, he's going to stay on the phone till they come. Absolutely. The Invisible Rebel is saying they say to convince themselves it's like that because if it were like that, then they wouldn't put themselves in position to be hurt again. I believe that women that have been hurt so many times are the ones that lead this pack, the I don't need a man pack. But oh no, we're not doing that. We need men over here. Listen, especially strong, black, handsome, smelling good, delicious men. Okay, we need you all. Okay, we listen. We love you all. Now listen. Sometimes y'all get on our nerves a little bit. We get on y'all nerves a little bit, but it's equal. But we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere because we need you and y'all need us. So let's change the atmosphere. Let's change that I don't need a man type energy. Let's change that. If you feel like that, just heal. You need to heal. Just know that you've been through some things and you got to work it out. But don't continue to be so quick to jump on that I don't need a man type bandwagon. We're not doing that. We're not doing that this year. We're going to deaden that. I need a man. Again, a man. Listen, that places that schlong dong, right? He's not giving it to everybody. He's not for the streets. His slong dong ain't for the streets. He got your back. You got his back. Y'all are together and y'all loving each other for life. Y'all locked in with each other. You need that. You need a partner. You need somebody to bounce ideals off of. You need somebody to keep you grounded, to keep you leveled, and to keep you focused. Because guess what? He needs you for the very same reason. We're not doing the I don't need a man. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are going to say, I love my man. I need my man. I want my man. And guess what? If you don't have a good man, it may be time for you to find one. If your good man did not, the characteristics and the reasons, and those are just a few reasons. We are on limited time, but it's so many other reasons why you would need a man. But don't let this social media campaign keep you from being with a good black man, because guess what? When you look around, social media and society is only pushing that bull junkie on us. Stop falling for the okie doke. As the old folks used to say, stop falling for the okie doke. Stop letting these folks deceive you with all these crazy memes. If you got a good man, you better hold on to him. And if you don't have a good man, get off that bandwagon and stop putting out that I don't need a man type energy. Stop putting out that I don't need a man type mentality. Change the way you think. And guess what? Most importantly, change the way you talk to men. Change the way you approach them. And you're going to have a different outlook and you're going to have a different experience when you run into a man. But tonight, we dead in that I don't need a man. I need a man. What a man. What a man. What a man. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Share the video, the J Spot Radio. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out. What a man. What a...
Thank you for hitting The J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.